Well, we've been speaking about the importance of tourism to Northern California, and certainly there is no greater tourist spot in Northern California, or certainly San Francisco, than Fisherman's Wharf. Now we're going to meet Troy Campbell, the new Executive Director of the Fisherman's Wharf Community Benefit District. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I have heard over the years that Fisherman's Wharf is one of the top tourist destinations in the entire state of California. Is that true?
You've been hearing correctly. That is correct, yes.
So what's bigger?
Disneyland. From I understand, Disneyland is number one. Fisherman's Wharf, San Francisco is number two.
So we got a little competition going, maybe
bit,
between Fisherman's Wharf and Anaheim.
Yeah, we might have a little trouble beating Mickey Mouse, but I think sourdough bread bowls might eventually overtake them.
Yeah, and you know, when wax figures of Madonna, things like that. Who knows?
Exactly.
Now, Fisherman's Wharf has long been called a tourist destination. I mean, I've lived in San Francisco for 26 years, and I actually love going to the wharf. Is one of the things that you're working on trying to make Fisherman's Wharf not just a tourist place, but a real San Francisco neighborhood where locals go to?
Yeah, you know, it's always going to have that element. I mean, I'm not from San Francisco originally, and one of my first trips to San Francisco was visiting Fisherman's Wharf, so I have really fond memories of visiting here. But, you know, we are working to make Fisherman's Wharf a place that more San Franciscans can come to and enjoy, and that is why we've been working so hard on our public realm and redesigning Jefferson Street to make it more of an area that is, you know, better for pedestrians, bicyclists, and making it an area that people can come and spend the day with their families. Yeah,
let's talk a little bit about that, because we keep hearing this phrase, the public realm of Fisherman's Wharf. Describe what's going on, and where does it start, and where does it end, and how's it going to help make it a more tourist-friendly and local-friendly place?
Okay, so the whole process started about six years ago, and they started looking at Fisherman's Wharf and how they could make it a better environment for not only businesses, for visitors, everything. And with the America's Cup coming in 2013, the momentum had really picked up, and this process that's been going along really picked up, and they started looking at, you know, what can be done to Fisherman's Wharf to speed this process up and get it ready for the America's Cup.
So in a sense, America's Cup coming was the catalyst for a lot of stuff that businesses and community benefit district members have been wanting to do for a long time.
Yeah, that's
because we all know it's very easy doing stuff in San Francisco. There's no bureaucracy, there's no red tape at all.
No. So yeah, that has picked up, and what they've come up with is being able to do two blocks of the entire project, and doing 2 blocks, and that would be from Hyde Street to Jones Street, and doing those areas before the America's Cup. That would mean construction would need to start in October after Fleet Week and continue into late spring of next year. And what the plan is to make Jefferson Street a 2-way street once more. It used to be several years back. Make it 2-way street again, take out the parking, and widen the sidewalks.
Right, and we've seen that throughout San Francisco and other cities. I've been reading some stories about how former 1-way streets are being turned back into 2-way streets because it's good for business.
It is good for business. I mean, you make a street 1-way when you want to move traffic through. So when you want to get people from...
i.e. not stop in front of your mom and pop store or buy Bodine's bread.
Exactly. So putting it back to a 2-way street actually makes it better for businesses, and it also calms the street as well. So that's one of the reasons why that has been made part of the process.
Now, Fisherman's Wharf is very diverse. I mean, as I say, I've lived here for a long, long time, and I like it. I'm a boat nut, anything to do with the water. So I know that there's actually a fishing fleet there, and I know that they're historic ships. But give us an overview. What comprises Fisherman's Wharf, and what type of businesses are there? I.e., it's not just T-shirt shops.
Yeah, it's not just T-shirt shops. That's what is so amazing about Fisherman's Wharf, is that it is such an eclectic neighborhood. You have fish processors, you have fishermen, you have sport fishermen, you have restaurants, over 100 restaurants and eateries. You know, everything from big restaurants to small little, you know, chocolate stores. There is tons of shopping and a lot of really interesting and shops that you can't find anywhere else. You know, there's a left-handed shop at Pier 39. There's Lola North Beach, which has a couple different locations, but at Ghirardelli Square, which is a great shop.
And the inventor of the traditional San Francisco after a cold, foggy night drink, the Irish coffee.
The Irish coffee,
the Buena
Buena
Vista.
Yeah. There's you know, lots of iconic things like that at Fisherman's Wharf. And there's a lot of really interesting attractions. A lot of people know about the Wax Museum and Ripley's, but I don't think as many people are familiar with Museum Mécanique, which is a great free museum that you can go into. It's free to go in. It costs to actually play some of the vintage arcade games and things that they have in there. But that's a really great attraction that's there.
And there's also now a whole arts component. I understand that the largest private art school in the United States, Academy of Art University, has recently moved into Fisherman's Wharf. So they're becoming a very big part of the, I don't want to say revitalization of Fisherman's Wharf, because it's never really had a downtime, but the changing demographic. Do you think that's true?
I think so, and I think once they have that the building that we're speaking of is actually the Cannery building. And it had been sort of a mall shopping center and had been on the decline for many years, and lots of the shops were gone. So the Academy moving into that space has been really, really helpful for the area. It's helped other retail shopping centers because they don't have the competition anymore. But it's really helped the building, and they've brought in a lot of different activities and events.
Well, students. I mean, now there are young people, there are working art students down there, which is, I think, kind of exciting.
Yeah, it creates a different, diverse mix to what's going on.
We talked a little bit about America's Cup, and there's races in August, there's races during Fleet Week in October, and then next year the finals starting in July, or the Louis Vuitton Cup, I should say, and then the winner of those races against Larry Ellison's Team Oracle in September. How important is America's Cup to the financial vitality of Fisherman's Wharf?
Well, we will soon learn. It's the first year that'll be at Fisherman's Wharf, and I think it's going to be have a huge impact on the wharf, because we're sort of sandwiched in between the areas that the race is going to be. So even though that the headquarters is at Pier, was it 19?
Pier 27, 29.
27, 29, and then all the activities that will be happening on Marina Green and Chrissy Field, we're sort of sandwiched in between those. Yeah. And we're going to be a real natural stopping point and place for people to come, because we have over 3,000 hotel rooms, like I said, over 100 restaurants. So we have the infrastructure to deal with a lot of people. So it's going to have a huge impact. And it was one of the reasons why we've been working so hard to get Jefferson Street ready. I had done a recent interview, and I said, when you have company coming, you want your living room cleaned. So that's part of the process.
Well, and we need to have a clean living room, because I understand there's going to be maybe 200,000 people coming down to watch the races. And I love their tagline: the world's best sailors, the fastest boats, in the most beautiful place in the world.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We've been speaking with Troy Campbell, Executive Director of the Fisherman's Wharf Community Benefit District, about America's Cup and all the great things coming to the waterfront. I'm David Perry. We'll see you next week on 10%.